Today I'm going to do an oil change on my 2012 Nissan Pathfinder. I'm going to use some shop rags, a torque wrench, a ratchet, a 10mm socket, a 14mm socket. I've got a K&N HP 1010 filter. I have two 4.73 liter containers of Mobil 1 synthetic motor oil, some gloves, a funnel, and two oil drip pans. Now this should be done every 3 months, 6,000 kilometers, or 3,750 miles, whichever comes first. Because I have a sloped driveway, I'm going to use ramps. Now the first thing that I'm going to do before I start the actual oil change is to remove the oil filler cap from the top end of the engine. Okay, getting underneath the vehicle, the oil drain plug is located right here, and I'm going to use that ratchet with the 14mm socket to pop that loose. Now you're going to want to obviously make sure that your oil catch pan is in place, and it's going to come out approximately 1 foot to 2 feet further than you might think. The one thing I noticed is that the oil is a lot dirtier than I thought it would be, considering that I'm doing this oil change right on schedule. Now the reason you're going to want the two oil drain pans in this case is you're going to leave one underneath the oil pan, and you're going to move the other underneath the oil filter because they're not close enough to share one drip pan. Now the oil filter has a cover located right at the front, and this is where you're going to use the 10mm socket attachment for your ratchet, and you're going to remove those 3 bolts and remove the cover plate so that you can gain access to the oil filter. And once the cover plate is off, you'll be able to see the oil filter without any problem, and you'll also notice that there is a little drip pan underneath that so it doesn't drip all into your engine bay there, which is actually kind of nice. The downside of it is it's hard to get your hand in because that little trough makes it very sharp across your wrist. I found it easiest to reach around and not even through that hole and just loosen the oil filter from the side. Fortunately, I didn't need any sort of oil filter wrench to do this. I just did it right by hand. And you can see the oil starting to leak out there. Because it's on an angle, as soon as you loosen it up, oil does start coming out, so you're going to want that oil pan in place. And once you got it loose, you'll be able to get the filter right out through the hole there. It is kind of tight, but it is definitely doable. And there's the oil filter. Now once the oil filter's out, just going to take some of those paper towels and clean up in there a little bit. You are going to have to stick your hand back in to put the new oil filter in, so you don't want to get too filthy. And there's a shot you can see where the oil filter's housing is. And I'm going to give the oil filter housing a good wipe down to make sure that there's no gasket material there, and just clean it up because it was kind of dirty. Now looking at the two oil filters, you can see the K&N filter is much larger than the Nissan brand filter. So I'm assuming that that's going to mean that it has a lot more filter material and will do a better job. Like I said, when I removed the oil drain plug, that oil was pretty dirty, dirtier than I would expect. Now before installing the K&N filter, it's going to put a very small amount of oil into the filter, really just enough to get the gasket material wet with oil. I'm just going to take a rag and make sure that the rubber gasket is fully saturated with oil prior to installation. Now just like removal of the old filter, installation of the new filter is a bit of a pain. I found it easiest to reach from the cover plate hole and just install it that way. But once I went to tighten it, I did it once again, sort of reach around from the side, just because I had a better leverage from that angle. Once you feel the rubber gasket on the new oil filter touch the engine, you're going to want to go 3/4 to 1 full turn after that to fully seat it onto the engine. And there you can see the K&N filter is now set in place. So now it's time to put in the engine oil drain plug. One thing to note, I did put a new crush washer on, and they give those out free at the local Nissan dealership here. So give it a good wipe down prior to installation, and then put it in hand tight at first, and then we're going to use the torque wrench, and the torque specification I have for this is 25 foot-pounds. Now the one thing I did find with these copper crush washers that Nissan has is that you actually have to wrench on them quite a bit to get them to collapse in, because they're a lot thicker than the aluminum crush washers. But anyway, once you hit 25 foot-pounds, that's all you need. And as usual, just going to take a piece of paper towel, give it a good wipe down. That way when I turn on the vehicle, I'll know if it's leaking or not right away. So now it's time to add oil. Now I know this thing takes at least 5 liters, so I'm going to put this entire first jug in there. Again, these are 4.73 liter jugs of Mobil 15W30 synthetic, and these are a truck and SUV formula. So as usual, pull the dipstick, make sure you got enough oil in there, and if required, add more until you're approximately at the fill line. So this is the second 4.73 liter jug of oil I'm putting in, and I'll put in about 300 milliliters out of this thing. Now prior to turning on the engine, I'm going to remove the funnel, make sure I don't drip anywhere, put the oil filler cap back on, and make sure the dipstick's back in. And now I'm going to go turn on the vehicle to cycle the engine oil through and ensure that the oil filter gets filled up with oil, and then if required I will add some more oil to the vehicle. Now generally I'll bring the RPMs up to about 2000 for a few seconds just to get the engine moving, and then make sure that there's no leaks. So there's a shot of the K&N with the engine running. Obviously no oil's leaking out, and check the oil drain plug, and doesn't look to be leaking. So with the engine running, I just put the oil filter cover plate back on, and just like removal, it just has 3 bolts. You use your 10mm socket and put them back in. And overall, this cover plate feels pretty flimsy and cheap. You can see it looks like there's actually supposed to be 4 bolts in this thing, but one's probably sheared off at some point in time. Like I said, this is my first oil change on this, so pretty easy, but again, cover plate seems cheap. Now once the engine's off, I'll just check and make sure that there's a requirement to add more oil, as usually is the case once you start up the vehicle. And sure enough, in this case, I'm a few hundred milliliters low, so I'll put the dipstick back in and I'll add the extra couple hundred milliliters to finish the job. And once again, check the oil with the dipstick, put it back in. If you're satisfied the engine is filled with oil, then I guess you're done. Take your funnel out, reinstall the engine oil filler cap, and make sure all your paper towel and stuff is out of the engine bay. Overall, I found this oil change a little bit more involved than on my Honda or Mazda, but overall not too difficult. It's just a little awkward with the oil filter. It took approximately 45 minutes, obviously because I'm filming. It's taking a little longer. You might do it in less time. Now the dealership charges $134.59 Canadian where I am to do the oil change on this vehicle. I was able to get the oil 50% off, so it was $30 Canadian each, so that was $60, and the K&N oil filter was $20 for a grand total of $80, which provides a DIY savings of approximately $55 Canadian. And it should be noted, the next time I do this, I do have enough oil that I'll only need to buy one of the 4.73 liter containers. As always, I'll be taking this oil to a recycling center. Anyway, thanks for checking out my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.